I've trapped Haaland and Mbappe at Rangers and Celtic for 15 seasons. Let's see if either of them can bring back the glory days. Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to another Mbappe and Haaland experiment. This time rather than not being trapped in the English non-league though, I've trapped them in the Scottish Premiership for 15 seasons. So, Mbappe I've put at Rangers, and Haaland is at Celtic. So I've decided to do this because I just wanted to see basically, could Haaland or Mbappe or any world-class striker, would they be able to take Rangers and Celtic back to their glory days of challenging for Champions Leagues, potentially even winning something as well. So I guess we'll see in the 15 season. I'm expecting them not to win a Champions League, to be honest, but we shall see what happens. We shall see. It's a long time, 15 seasons, so hopefully something does happen. Anyway, in terms of the two, obviously I said Mbappe is at Rangers. I've put him on 50k a week. That is their highest earner by quite a distance, I think, actually. Yeah, it is the highest earner. He's on 20k more than the second highest earner, which is Morello. So I put him on 50k because I thought it's a bit more realistic. I did go with 100k first of all, but I thought that was just too much for a club whose highest average earner is 30k a week. So I put Mbappe on 50k a week for Rangers, of course, and he's going to stay here for the entire time because he's got a future transfer in there. He'll finally get his move to Real Madrid on 1st of July 2036, just after the 15th season. And in terms of Haaland, of course, he is at the other old firm club, Celtic. He's on 50k a week as well, and he'll finally join Man City on 1st of July 2036. So obviously in this experiment here, we're not really expecting anything in the anything different, shall I say, in the Cinch Premiership. If those of you who don't know, a single team has not won the Scottish Premiership other than Rangers and Celtic since Aberdeen back in 1985. And just for comparison, the manager who last won the Scottish Premiership, who wasn't manager of Rangers or Celtic, was Sir Alex Ferguson. And of course we know what he did. And it's ridiculous how once or two-sided, should I say, the Scottish Premiership is. So we're not really concentrating on that because we'd expect Rangers or Celtic, one of them, to win the title every single season as they have done for the last 35 years or so. So it's mainly about European competitions. Can any of these two, Haaland or Mbappe, lead Rangers or Celtic to a European trophy, or even just far in a European competition, a semi-final of the Champions League, Europa League win or something? We shall see, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to go forward to one season. Let's see how they both start off, and let's see who wins the title. Okay, the first season has been completed, and obviously not a single surprise here that Rangers and Celtic are the top two of the division here, but Rangers have won the title in the first season, scoring quite a lot more goals than Celtic, has to be said. 86 goals scored for Rangers, or only 71 for Celtic. They won it 7 points clear at the top as well, so that is interesting. Let's check how our boys did as well then. Haaland and Mbappe. Well, most goals is, joint. I think this is exactly the same as my last experiment with these two. They both finished on exactly the same amount of goals in the first season. Only 25 goals though, it's a little bit disappointing. In saying that, it's been low scoring throughout the entire league here. The third top goal scorer is 13 goals. And the top goal scorer for any other top club is 11 goals. So, very bizarre. But Haaland's got 25 goals in 33 games, a goal every 106 minutes. Mbappe's got 25 goals as well, but he started more games, 37 games, a goal every 128 minutes. So nothing completely sensational here, but obviously they've got to work with the players they have around them as well. Obviously at PSG and Man City, they've both got much better players around them than they do with Celtic and Rangers. Sorry, Celtic and Rangers fan. Most assists though, Kylian Mbappe is top of that as well with 11 assists. Can't see Haaland anywhere on this. So Mbappe involved in 36 goals in all, 36 goal contributions in the league, sorry. What did Mbappe do of all competitions though? Well, he played 58 games. He started 58 games in all competitions for Rangers, sorry. 14 games in continental football, so I wonder how far they went in the continental competition there. Check that out in a second. 58 starts, 41 goals, and 19 assists. So he did have quite a good season, has to be said. He's involved in 60 goal involvements in just 58 games. So that is pretty sensational. I'd like if he had more goals in the league, but let's be honest, that is pretty decent. Has he been playing as a striker or as on the wing? Well, it's even more impressive the fact that he's played on the left wing most of the time as well. Obviously, he scores most of his goals on the left wing anyway, but still, that's quite impressive. 20 games as a striker as well. So Mbappe had a brilliant first season there. Absolutely fantastic. Let's check out Haaland. Well, Haaland had a little bit of a disappointing season, has to be said. 51 games, 34 goals, and 9 assists. Not great. It looks like Mbappe had a much better season in his first season than Haaland did, put it that way. In continental competition, he got 3 goals in 12 games, so that's a little bit disappointing there from Haaland. So obviously Rangers won the league title there in the first season. Let's see how they actually did in continental competitions. Well, first of all, before we check out the Champions League or Europa League, whatever they was in, let's see how they did in the Scottish Cups here. Well, the Premier Sports Cup, they got knocked down in the quarter-final to Hearts on penalties there. It's a little bit disappointing. Mbappe started that game as well because he scored the first goal. Also lost in the Scottish Cup final to Aberdeen 3-2. Christian Ramirez, the match winner there. Did Mbappe started in that game as well. So they didn't do too well in the Scottish Cup. So they got to the Scottish Cup final, but they lost to Aberdeen. They beat Celtic in the Scottish Cup semi-final, though. Mbappe and Haaland both on the score sheet in that game. But not a domestic treble for Rangers there. We might see if Celtic won the Premier Sports Cup. That's not as much to shout about, to be honest, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Anyway, let's check out what they did in the Champions League and the Europa League, apparently. So I'm guessing they got knocked out of the Champions League there. Well, they did qualify for the Champions League. They beat Olympiacos in the Champions League path playoff first leg. They beat them 3-0 at home. Mbappe on the score sheet there. They then lost 2-1 away, so they did qualify 4-2 in aggregate there. They got through they knocked out in the group stage, sorry. They had a difficult group, though, has to be said. Besiktas, Juventus, and Sporting Lisbon. I feel like they could have qualified, though, to be honest. Is there much difference in Rangers and Sporting Lisbon? You'd probably say Sporting Lisbon's team is better, but in saying that, Rangers got to the Europa League final last season, didn't they? So, yeah, it's strange. Well, they started off quite well. They beat Besiktas 4-0 at home. Mbappe were bracing that game. They also beat Sporting Lisbon 3-2 at home as well, which is a nice win, of course. But away from home, they got killed, really. Lost away to Sporting, lost away to Juventus 3-0, lost at home to Juventus as well, and then drew away to Besiktas. So, 7 points there in the group stage. Not a disaster, but still, as I said, it's a difficult group, but with Besiktas and Sporting Lisbon in there, it's a little bit disappointing the fact they didn't qualify. They got through to the Europa League, though, obviously finishing third. They beat Leicester in the first knockaround, which is a great scalp for them. They beat them 1-0 at home, Amad Diallo with the goal. And they drew 2-2 away from home. Kylian Mbappe with a penalty, seeing them go through there. They then had another great win in the second knockout round. They beat Bayer Leverkusen 2-1 at home, which is a great win. Mbappe on the score sheet again. They drew 2-2 away as well. Mbappe there as well. So Mbappe is a big player, of course, in European football as well for Rangers. They then lost to Leipzig, though, in the quarter-final. Did they actually get... I'm making things up. Did they get through Leipzig in the quarter-final of the Europa League in real life, or was that the semi-final? It could have been the semi-final, but it's either the quarter-final or semi-final, I'm sure. They almost got through them again, though, as well. They beat them 3-1 at home. Mbappe with a hat-trick in this game. Unfortunately, lost the second leg 3-0 away from home, which is disappointing. 3-1 win from the first leg to then get knocked out 3-0 in the second leg there. But to get to obviously, they got to the Europa League final in real life, but no one was expecting that, so it was a little bit of a surprise. So I'd say this is a little bit of a success. It's getting to the quarter-final of the Europa League. It's a decent start for Rangers there. Won the league title as well. Obviously lost in the Scottish Cup final. We got to the Europa League final, so that is decent to say the least. Anyways, go check out Celtic. Obviously they came second to the old firm rivals there in the league. What else did they do though in other competitions? Well, Celtic did win this Premier Sports Cup, so they've won a competition this season, so that's something at least, as I said. Beating Hearts in the final, 3-1 after extra time. Haaland did not score in that game. Did he score in the semi-final? He scored in the semi-final. In the Scottish Cup, obviously, he got knocked down in the semi-final to Rangers. Haaland scored in that game as well. And what about the Champions League and Europa League? Well, it looks exactly the same story as Rangers. Look like they finished third in their group, as the Champions League and Europa League are both popping up here. Actually, no, they didn't. They didn't even qualify for the Champions League. Oh my word, that is shocking. Absolutely shocking. They beat Midtjylland in the second qualifying round of the Champions League there. Beat them 3-1 very comfortably over 2 legs. Haaland didn't score a single goal in those 2 games, though. But then look what they did in the third qualifying round. They got battered by Sparta Prague. They lost 4-1 away from home to Sparta Prague, which is absolutely shocking. And then lost 2-1 at home to them as well. So that is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. They went through to the Europa League, though. Straight through to the group stage. They got through the group stage. Won the first 4 games, actually. Beating Rapid Vienna. Beating Ferencváros as well. They beat the other Prague team, Slavia Prague, very comfortably. They drew under Ferencváros as well. And then lost away to Rapid Vienna. But then in the Europa League, second knockout round, they got knocked out to Shakhtar, unfortunately, 5-0 in aggregate. So that is not a very good first season for Celtic in European football, is it? Lost away to Shakhtar 2-0, which is not a complete disaster. They could think they might have a chance in the second leg to get through, but then they lost 3-0 at home to them as well, which is just terrible. Haaland started in the second leg. He started in the first leg as well. So abysmal from Celtic there in the continental competition. Obviously, Rangers got through to the quarter-final, narrowly lost out to Leipzig. As I said, they got through to the Europa League final in real life, but let's be honest, Red Bull Leipzig are a much better team than Rangers. I know they beat them in real life, but this is FootballManager, so they did quite decent there, and there was unfortunate not to beat the semi-final or beyond, so Rangers had a much better season in the first season. Also, it has to be said that Mbappe had a better season than Haaland as well. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward things to 5 seasons now. Let's see what happens over 5 seasons. Okay, here we are, 5 seasons deep. Well, first things first, let's check out the league table positions here. This is the first season league table, so we'll go forward to the second season, third season, and beyond. Please remember, though, if you do like this video, to hit that like button for me. And also, if you're interested in seeing daily FootballManager content, then hit that subscribe button. It really helped me out, and I much appreciate as well. So let's check out the second season. Of course, Rangers won the title in the first season, Celtic second. Who won the title in the second season? Well, Rangers won the title again. This time with 95 points. 1 goal short of 100 as well, sorry. So they're banging in the goals for fun, Rangers. Celtic only scored 71 again. It was 71, identical as the first season. 71 goals scored, 29 goals conceded. So Rangers bossing things in the first 2 seasons here. Only got 3 losses as well. One of them was away to Celtic 2-0. So Rangers won the first 2 league titles. What about the third season? Rangers again. Rangers won the first 3 league titles. Celtic came a little bit closer in this third season though. Only 3 points behind. Scored 84 goals this time, so a little bit more goals. But still, Rangers are dominating things domestically. How about the fourth season? Well, hey, Celtic finally won a title in the 4th season. Didn't score so many goals though. None of them scored many goals in this season. 68 goals scored for Celtic. Only 74 for Rangers as well. That's very poor. Very, very poor. And what about the 5th season? The 5th season, Celtic won it again. So Celtic are finally starting to establish themselves, in this experiment video at least. Not in Scotland. I think Celtic have established themselves in Scotland many years ago, to be fair. The Rangers had a shocking season this season. They lost 8 games. 8 games. They lost to Celtic 3 times as well. So you can see where Celtic won the title. Celtic drew 8 games and only lost 2 games in the entire season. Bizarre losses as well. Home to St Johnstone 2-1 and home to Aberdeen 2-1. So... But Celtic have won the league title 2 seasons in a row. But of course, we're here for Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. Let's first check out if either of them won the top goal scorer in the seasons, which I expect they did, to be honest. Well, obviously in the first season, they both got 25 goals. It pops up as Haaland as the top goal scorer because he played less games than Mbappe, of course. But Mbappe had a more successful season in the first season than Haaland, in my opinion. And the second season, Mbappe was top goal scorer. He scored 33 goals in 38 games and 16 assists as well. Haaland with only 27 goals and 4 assists, so that's poor. Mbappe with 49 goal involvements there, and Haaland, with only 31, so that is poor. Haaland's finished up as top goal scorer 4 out of 5, though, obviously joined in the first season. In the third season, he got 30 goals. A much better season from Haaland than the third season, with 30 goals and 11 assists. That is nice. 41 goal involvements in 36 games. Mbappe got 20 goals, so not a bit poor, but still got 17 assists as well. In the 4th season, Haaland got goal scorer again with only 22 goals in the 4th season. That's poor. And Mbappe have only 17 goals. So the 4th season wasn't too successful for either of the players, to be honest. And in the final season here, Haaland got 27 goals and 8 assists. And Mbappe got 23 goals and 13 assists. Well, I want to check out their goal record in a little bit more detail here. In the second season, Haaland got 44 goals in the second season. So that's better than the first season, I believe. First season, he got 34. So the second season, he got 44 goals, only 5 assists. In the next season, he got 41 goals, but this time 15 assists, so he did really well in that season. In his 4th season, he only got 37 goals, which is poor from his standards, it has to be said. And in the final season, only 38 in all competitions. So, Haaland's doing good. He's doing alright. Seems like the second and third season where he hit his peak a little bit for the club, which is a little bit bizarre, considering the fact they won the league title the last 2 seasons. But hey-ho. Anyway, let's check out Mbappe. What did he do? Well, Mbappe had an absolute blinder of a season in the second season. They got 33 goals and 16 assists in the league, of course, but he also got 39 goals and 23 assists in all competitions. So that is absolutely brilliant. 62 goal involvements that season. That was fantastic. The next season, he got 37 goals and 20 assists, so 57 goal involvements. The next season after that was the poor one, 25 goals and only 9 assists. That is very poor. And the final season got 31 goals and 19 assists. So Mbappe really is firing, especially with all his assists there. I'm guessing they're playing him down the left wing most of the time. Yes, they are. So it's even more impressive the fact that he's playing on the left wing. And Haaland's obviously starting up front in every single one of his games. So that is fantastic. It looks like he's playing for France on a regular basis as well. 26 goals, 26 games, 14 goals and 8 assists there. He's still a massive man for France. He's got 99 caps now, so that's great for him. Anyway, let's go check out what did Celtic and Rangers do in any continental competition. Let's check out Celtic first this time, and of course they won the Premier Sports Cup in the first season. Nothing to shout about, but it is a trophy. Let's see what they did in the Cups in the second season. Lost in the quarter-final of the Premier Sports Cup, this time to Aberdeen, 1-0 at home. They beat Rangers in the Scottish Cup final though, 3-1, so they won the trophy back-to-back there. Premier Sports Cup and the Scottish Cup, not much to shout about though. The next season, they lost in the Premier Sports Cup final to Rangers. They also lost in the Scottish Cup final to Rangers. So Rangers did a domestic treble in the third season there, which of course must be very nice. The fourth season, they won the Premier Sports Cup again, beating Rangers in the final. Well, there's a lot of Rangers in the Celtic finals, which is not too much of a surprise. Well, Rangers won it, the domestic treble in the third season, and it looks like Celtic won it, domestic treble, in the fourth season. Obviously, beat Rangers in the Premier Sports Cup final, beat them in the Scottish Cup final as well. Haaland were bracing that game, and Mbappe were bracing that game as well. It's quite a blinding game, wasn't it? 3-3, and they won on penalties, so that's quite nice. And in the final season, they lost in the quarter-final to Hibernian, and they lost in the Scottish Cup final to Rangers as well. So how many Scottish Cup finals are we going to see between Rangers and Celtic? It might be crazy. Anyway, let's check out the European competitions. So obviously in the first season, Celtic was not impressive at all in the Champions League. Couldn't even qualify for the Champions League. Knocked down the third qualifying round very convincingly to Sparta Prague. Then, got to the Europa League second knockout round, but then they lost in such convincing fashion to Shakhtar 5-0. It's pretty embarrassing. What did they do in the second season? The second season, they couldn't qualify for the Champions League again. This time, though, it's a little bit more realistic, shall I say. We're not knocked out to Benfica. They got through Fenerbahce quite nicely, 5-1 in the third qualifying round. Haaland scored 2 goals in the first leg there. They then faced Benfica, obviously, in the PAF playoff. Lost 2-0 away in the first leg there and drew 2-2 at home. Well, that's devastating, the fact that they were 2-1 up in this game, and Ben Davies got sent off in the 84th. Is that Ben Davies from Tottenham? No, it's not Ben Davies from Tottenham. He's not very good, is he? Not very good. So they couldn't qualify for the Champions League again, but then they got through the Europa League group again, but unfortunately not knocked out in the second. Why didn't they play one leg, by the way? Yeah, they got through the group against AZ, Besiktas and Servette, but then they got knocked out to West Ham in the Europa League, second knockout round. Lost 3-2 at home, but there's no second leg. I don't quite understand what's going on there, to be honest. Is there no second legs anymore? Just one leg? Well, just checked out the rules, and apparently there's only one leg in the second knockout these days. Who knew? I didn't know, that's for sure. Anyway, they went 2-0 up in this game as well, which is really disappointing. There was 2-0 up at home to West Ham after 13 minutes. And then West Ham came back to win the game 3-2. So that is very disappointing. So nothing to talk of Celtic in European competitions as of yet. They haven't qualified for the Champions League in the first 2 seasons. In the third season, they did qualify for the Champions League. Got through Porto in the PAF playoff as well, which is nice. Haaland were bracing that game. They got battered in the group stage, though. Very tricky group, though, with Shakhtar, Man United and Benfica. But they only managed to win one game. That was away to Benfica for 2-1. So that is very disappointing. You expect them to beat Shakhtar at home and Benfica at home as well, to be honest. But they got absolutely battered. Lost to home to Benfica 4-1. Lost away to Shakhtar 4-1. Lost to home to Man United 3-1 as well. So Celtic are not doing too well in European competitions. What about the fourth season? In the fourth season, they finally qualified from the group stage as well. And that was a group with Real Madrid in it. Lost to home to Real Madrid 3-0. Lost away to Real Madrid 3-0. But did it right again, Marseille and KV Mechelen. Yeah, not too much to moan about there, to be honest. Got knocked out to Bayern Munich in the Champions League first knockout round. 3-0 at home and 1-0 away from home. What about the final season? In the final season, they got through the group stage again. This time with Inter Milan, Lyon and Ludogorets in their group. But then they got destroyed by Barcelona. 4-1 at home and 2-0 away to Barcelona. Well, it looks like Celtic getting a little bit better in terms of continental competitions, of course. Starting to qualify for the Champions League first knockout round, but face Bayern Munich and Barcelona. It's always going to be tricky with those two clubs. Let's check out Rangers in the Cup first of all. Of course, in the first season, they lost in the quarter-final of the Premier Sports Cup and they lost in the final to Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup. The second season, they won the Premier Sports Cup final against Ross County 3-0. They then lost in the Scottish Cup final to Celtic, of course, 3-1. In the third season, they did the treble, I believe. Yeah, that's right, the domestic treble. Beating Celtic in both finals there as well, which is, of course, very, very nice for them. And the next season, though, they lost in both finals to Celtic, where Celtic did a domestic treble. So that is very strange. The third season was Rangers were a domestic treble. The fourth season was Celtic with a domestic treble. So that's kind of bizarre. And in the final season here, Celtic won the title, but they won both finals as well. They beat Hearts in the Premier Sports Cup final, and they beat Celtic in the Scottish Cup final as well. So let's check out the continental competitions. What did they do in Europe? So, of course, Celtic have not been very good in the European competitions. They got to the first knockout round twice in the Champions League. That was in both of the last 2 seasons as well. But Rangers got to the quarter-final of the Europa League in the first season, almost got through to the semi-final as well. What about the second season though? The second season wasn't great. They qualified for the Champions League, but they lost in the group stage, finishing bottom. And to be honest, with a group with Gladbach, Shakhtar and Marseille, that is very disappointing to finish bottom. Very. It was even the top seeds of this group, because there's no real big hitters in this group, is there? So that's really disappointing. They lost at home to Gladbach as well, lost at home to Marseille. They drew at home to Shakhtar as well, so that's where they lost their games. And the Ibrox Stadium as well. The Ibrox Stadium is a bit of a fortress, isn't it? Especially on European nights. Well, that's what I hear anyway. They love to talk about it. So you'd expect them to win one of those games. They beat Marseille 2-1 away, but shocking that. Shocking second season for Rangers there in Europe. The third season they got through to the Europa League quarter-final again, but what happened there? Well, first we got knocked out of the Champions League group. With Marseille in the group as well, Besiktas and Inter Milan. Still, that's disappointing. Should expect them to try and qualify from that. Well, I'm sure they tried to qualify, but expect them to make it closer than that, to be honest. Only one win at home away to Marseille again. Again, they lost at home to Marseille, which is disappointing. The Europa League, they got through Basel very easily in the first knockaround. Beat them 7-0 on aggregate. Mbappe with 2 goals in the second leg then. And they beat Porto in the second knockaround, which is great. They beat them at home 1-0, despite going down to 10 men. They beat away 1-0 as well, Mbappe with a goal. But then look who they lost to in the quarter-final of the Europa League. Brighton. Really? Really? Lost at home to Brighton in the first leg of the quarter-final. Danny Ings with a goal there. And then away to Brighton drew 1-1. So, again, very close to get through to the semi-final of the Europa League. And who knows where else. So, that is disappointing. But at least they're doing better than Celtic, that is for sure. In the fourth season, they couldn't even get a win in the Champions League this season. They had a difficult group this time around though, PSG and AC Milan. But you'd expect them to get a win against young boys, especially at home, so that is disappointing. And in the final season here, they got through to the Europa League second knockout round, where they lost to Marseille again. Lots of games against Marseille. They beat Marseille away from home. 3 seasons on the bounce, wherever it is. 3-2. They lost at home to them though. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. So, in the first 3 seasons, Rangers won all the titles and also secured a domestic treble in the third season. But then Celtic won the last 2 titles before we got through to 10 seasons. And also did the domestic treble in the 4th season, sorry. In the 6th season, who won the title? Celtic won the title 3 seasons on the bounce. But Rangers, with Mbappe in the team, couldn't even finish in second place. Aberdeen, out of nowhere, finishing in second place. That means Rangers couldn't... Well, not only didn't qualify for the Europa League, they had to go into the Europa Conference League. But could we see them win their first European competition there in the Europa Conference League? Possibly, but that is absolutely shocking. What on earth happened there? That is terrible. What about the 7th season then? Rangers did a bit better in the 7th season. They won the title. Celtic second as well. Both with quite a distance from Aberdeen there. So Rangers won the title 3 seasons on the bounce in the first 3 seasons there. Then Celtic won in 3 seasons on the bounce. So very interesting. Rangers again at the top. In the 8th season, Celtic won it again and again. Rangers pipped us second by Aberdeen. What on earth is going on? Unbelievable. Well, in the 9th season, Rangers reached 100 points. But again, Aberdeen in second place. This time overthrowing Celtic. I don't quite know what's going on there with Aberdeen, to be honest. I don't know what's happening with it. How on earth could you not finish in the top 2, at least, of the Scottish Premiership? You got Haaland or Mbappe up front. I have no idea what is happening there, to be honest. That is absolutely horrendous. And in the final season, Celtic won the title by 1 point as well. Rangers lost their final game of the season, which is, well, disappointing for them, I say. Celtic won it by 1 point, but at least they both finished in the top 2. But where have Aberdeen come from? Out of absolutely nowhere. Celtic and Rangers, Celtic got Haaland, Mbappe, Rangers got Mbappe, but they still are not guaranteed a top 2 finish every single season, which is very, very bizarre. Anyway, let's check out the top goal scorers. Let's hope Mbappe and Haaland finish top goal scorer every single season. Oh my word, but they didn't in the final season, though, did they? That's absolutely shocking. Ooh, it's Daniel Pitchford. We'll get to him in a second, but Mbappe finished as top goal scorer in the next 3 seasons. He scored 26 in the 6th season there, 36 games, only 9 assists though, not his best, as we said. Haaland with only 25 goals that season. The next season, Mbappe top goal scorer again with 30 goals and only 4 assists this time. Haaland with 25 and 6 there. In the 8th season, Mbappe got 27 goals and 10 assists. Haaland only got 16 goals in that season, but he only played 22 games. Maybe he got an injury there. He's quite injury prone, Haaland, isn't he? He did get his top goal scorer though in the 9th season with 25 goals and 6 assists. Mbappe with 24 and 8. Daniel Pitchford popping up there. And then in this final season, Daniel Pitchford as the top goal scorer. Regen with Hibernian, 23 goals in 35 games. Mbappe got 23 goals as well and 13 assists. But he played one more game than Pitchford, and Haaland is nowhere to be seen on the list here. Who is Daniel Pitchford, by the way? Well, I'll tell you what. He's quite good. Isn't he? He's decent. What on earth is he doing playing for Hibernian? 16 composure, great pace as well. He's great physically, great technique, good dribble. What is he doing playing for Hibernian? He played for Derby. He went to Hibernian for 5.25 million. He's lighting up the Cinch Premiership. Well, Hibernian aren't lighting up the Cinch Premiership, but Daniel Pitchford is. Anyway, let's go check out Mbappe and Haaland in more detail again. What they do in total over the seasons here. Well, in the 6th season, Mbappe got 40 goals and 11 assists, so pretty good. Next season, got 46 goals and 13 assists, so that is nice. Then he got 36 goals and 17 assists, 33 and 12, so probably one of his worst seasons there, to be honest. And then 35 and 14, so he's still consistently getting the goals and assists, of course. Not really too much of a surprise. He's 32 now. Not really declining as of yet, though, it has to be said. Didn't he have 20 acceleration, 20 pace? So he has declined a bit there, but not too much. 161 caps for France as well and 81 goals, so that is very nice, of course. Let's check out Haaland as well. Well, Haaland has really gone off the ball in the last couple of seasons, where he got 34 goals in 49 games in that season, so not the best, it has to be said. Next season, 34 goals in 52. The next season, got 27 goals in 36 games, 33 in 42. And this final season, he got 20 goals in 31 games, so not the best from Haaland. Let's check out his injury list here, though. He's torn his hamstring. He's out for 2 months. He has Motherwell hip injury as well. He broke his foot. So he's had a couple of injuries to deal with, it has to be said. He's very injury prone. But still, not the best record from Haaland. Another thing I want to check, though, is a player of the season. And in total, out of the 10 seasons here, Mbappe has won it 9 out of 10. And Haaland's only won it once. So that tells a little bit of a story there, to be honest. Mbappe is bossing the Scottish Premiership, where Haaland isn't doing amazing, it has to be said. Anyway, let's check out the 2 clubs here. Let's check out Rangers first of all. Did they win any cup competitions, anything like that? Let's check that out first. Well, in the 6th season, they couldn't even get past the Premier Sports Cup 2nd round, losing out to Rafe, drawing 3-3 and getting knocked out on penalties. That is pathetic. And then they lost in the Scottish Cup semi-final to Aberdeen 2-1 after extra time as well. So, not great that season. The next season, oh my word, what is going on with Aberdeen? They battered them 4-0 in the quarter-final of that cup there. That is pathetic, seriously. They lost in the 5th round of the Scottish Cup to Celtic as well. Next season was better though. They won the Premier Sports Cup final against Celtic 2-0. And they also beat Hearts in the final of the Scottish Cup 3-0. And they also beat Celtic on the way there as well, which of course is very nice for Rangers. The next season, they won the Premier Sports Cup again, beating Aberdeen 1-0 in the final. They got lost out to Celtic in the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup though. And in the final season here, they lost to Hibernian in the semi-final and they beat Ross County 3-0 in the Scottish Cup final. So obviously added a bit more cup competitions there as well. But the main thing we're here for though is the Champions League, of course, and the Europa League, and the Europa Conference League, I guess. So let's check out them. Rangers again got through to the Europa League quarter-final 3 times now in the first 6 seasons. They lost out to Arsenal this time. First of all, they got knocked out in the Champions League 3rd qualifying round to Braga, which is disappointing. Drawing 2-2 at home. Mbappe with 2 goals there and losing 1-0 away from home. They did do really well in the Europa League group, but then, let's be honest, their group is rather easy. Hapoel Beersheva, Bodo Glimt and Slovan Bratislava. They lost to only Slovan Bratislava 1-0, which is shocking, but they won the other 5 games. They then beat Lazio in the 2nd knockout round. Lost 3-2 away. No goal from Mbappe there. And they beat them 3-2 at home though. Mbappe scoring in the 110th minute. They then got an equaliser late on then, but then Rangers won on penalties, was nice. But they lost in the quarterfinals to Arsenal, unfortunately. Raul Jimenez with a goal there in the 56th minute, beating 1-0 at home and then lost 3-0 away from home, which is poor. The next season, they went shocking. The next season they had the Europa. This is the season they finished 3rd, I think it was, so it's terrible. They had the Euro Cup 2, the Europa Conference League, 3rd qualifying round. They beat UTA Arad 6-1. Then they beat Vitesse in the 4th qualifying round. They then went unbeaten in the group stage as well. They beat Sporting Lisbon in the 2nd knockout round 5-2, which is, of course, very nice. And then beat Lille in the quarter-final. But then they lost to Aston Villa in the semi-final. Thought they had a big chance of winning the competition there, to be honest. Lost away to Aston Villa 2-1 and drew 2-2 at home. Mbappe with 2 goals in that leg there, though. The next season was shocking in the Champions League. At least they're back in the Champions League, though, I guess. But Porto, Ajax and Inter Milan, they couldn't even register a win in that one. The next season after they got to the Europa League quarterfinal again for the 4th time. 4th time. This time knocked out to Atlanta on 5-4 on aggregate, which is disappointing. Knocked out Benfica in there as well. They got through PSV in the group stage. Got through Lille in the group stage as well. So that is disappointing. In the final season here, they got to the Champions League group again. You know what? That is a Champions League of dreams there. That is a Champions League of dreams. Marseille, Shakhtar and LASK, they still couldn't qualify. That is shocking. They beat LASK 3-1 at home. They lost 4-0 away to them, though, which is pathetic. And, yeah. Not great in the in Europe. Rangers, they got through to the Europa Conference League semi-final, but let's be honest, in that competition with Mbappe starting in your forward line, you expect them to win that competition, wouldn't you? Not being knocked out to Aston Villa. And they got to the Europa League quarter-final 4 times, but they can't get through, which is rather disappointing. Let's check out Celtic then in the European competitions then. First of all, let's check out they won a cup competitions. They won the Premier Sports Cup in the 6th season, beating Aberdeen in the final. They lost to Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup quarter-final, though. Season after that, knocked out to St Johnstone in the Premier Sports Cup semi-final. Knocked out to Aberdeen. Where did Aberdeen come from? Where did they come from? No idea. Lost to Rangers in the Premier Sports Cup final next season. And lost to Rangers in the Scottish Cup quarter-final as well. So no competitions for them. They beat Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final, though, 3-0. And in this final season, they didn't do too well either. Let's check out them in European competitions. Rangers, well, nothing sensational in European competitions, of course, but at least they've got quite far in some of them. Let's check out Celtic. Well, Celtic in the 6th season definitely got given the group of death there in the Champions League. Got given PSG and Real Madrid, so no surprise they didn't get through that. But they did beat PSG in the first group game, 2-1 at home. Haaland with a goal there, sorry. And Sparta Prague, they lost away to them 1-0, but still didn't mean they finished in 4th place. They finished in 3rd place, of course. They went to the Europa League. They got through Hapoel Beersheva very easy in the first knockaround. They got knocked out to Chelsea 2-1 in aggregate in the second knockout. What happened to the Europa League then, by the way? Why was there only one leg in that season there? It's very bizarre. Was that the World Cup season? Is that what the rules are? I have no idea. But anyway, knocked out of Chelsea in the second knockout round. Drew 1-1 at home, lost away 1-0 as well. So they're very tight there against Chelsea. So that's nothing to be ashamed of. In the next season, again knocked down in the second knockout round of the Europa League. This time to Atlanta, unfortunately. Season after that, again, the Europa League, second knockout round, this time to AC Milan. Not getting very good draws in the second knockout round, though, are they? Season after that, again, the Europa League, second knockout round, this time to Villarreal. And the season after that, they got knocked out of Villarreal again, this time in the first knockout round, though. So Celtic, nothing to talk of, really, in European competitions. Nothing at all. Rangers have got through to 4 Europa League quarter-finals, which, of course, is nothing sensational, and the Europa Conference League semi-final, but in pretty much all of those games, they were just inches away from going to the next stage of the competition. So they're doing quite well, but Celtic, not much to shout about at all. We're at the end here of the video now in the 15th seasons, of course, and I wanted to see who won the most titles between the two. Rangers have actually won the last 5 titles in a row as well, and Celtic didn't even finish, not in the top 2, not even in the top 3 in the 14th season. What on earth is going on there? I thought these two players would make the clubs better, but oh my word. Hibernian second and Aberdeen third. We have to check that one out in more detail. What on earth is going on there? Rangers in total have won 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the titles, and Celtic have only won 5. So Rangers and Mbappe have certainly done better than Haaland and Celtic, it has to be said. So that is very, very bizarre. What happened in these seasons? What happened there? Where did they finish? Obviously, Rangers won the title 5 seasons on the bounce. Celtic finished second there. Nothing too sensational. 83 points though. The next season, Celtic are second again. Only 78 points from Rangers. What is happening? The next season, Rangers only got 84 points as well. And this season here, Celtic finished 4th in the league with 66 points. Oh my word. How is that even possible? How did that even happen? You got Haaland up front and you finished 4th. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And in the final season, Celtic couldn't even finish in the top 2 again. 55 points. What is going on? Well, for context, they finished 44 points behind Rangers in the final season. 44 points. What on earth is going on? They only just finished third as well. Only by goal difference over Hibernian. My word, absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Anyway, let's check out the two players, shall we? Check out the two players. Well, Rob Burnett is the top goal scorer this season from Hibernian as well. Well, Mbappe finished top goal scorer 3 seasons in a row. With 26 goals there in 34 games and 14 assists. Haaland only 21 games. Haaland's not really been impressive in this video, has he? Not impressive at all. The next season, Mbappe got 27 goals and 8 assists. Haaland again with only 21 goals. The next season, Mbappe got 24 goals. Haaland was only 21, only 25 games played there, though. He did finally get top goal scorer again, though, in that season there. 26 goals and 4 assists. And in the final season, Rob Burnett, top goal scorer for Hibernian with 20 goals. Haaland with 20 goals as well, only with 33 games. And Mbappe nowhere to be seen, so poor, very poor. How about player of the season? Well, Mbappe just absolutely dominated the player of the season. Absolutely dominated. He won it 14 out of 15 times. So I think it's safe to say Mbappe has had a better career in Scottish football than Haaland did. Haaland only won it once, and that was in 2028. So Mbappe is certainly dominated the Scottish Premiership, it has to be said. Let's check him out in more detail in the final 5 seasons. Well, in the 11th season, he got 26 goals and 14 assists in the league, which of course is very nice. 31 goals and 22 assists in all competitions. The next season, he got 35 goals and 11 assists. After he got 35 goals and 9 assists. 24 goals and 11 assists. And in the final season, he got 18 goals and 9 assists. But of course, he's starting to decline now. He's 37 years of age. Well, he's not declined that much, is he? Let's be honest. He's still be doing better than that. He's still pretty good. Well, he's very good, actually. 196 caps he got for France. And 102 goals. What on earth? Has he retired? He has retired. He retired 2 seasons ago as well. A little bit disappointing, actually. He could have got to 200 caps, which if I was a footballer and I had 196 caps and I was still in the manager's plans, I'd certainly go for 200. But he had his reasons, of course. 196 caps for France, though. That is absolutely sensational. That's one thing I need to check as well. Did France or Norway, did either of them ever win the World Cup or the European Championship? Well, in the World Cup, neither France nor Norway won the World Cup. France got to 2 finals though. Lost to Portugal in 2022 and lost to England in 2030. I really hope that happens. I really hope England win the 2022 World Cup as well. That'd be very nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, no World Cups for France, unfortunately. And Norway, of course, nowhere to be seen as well. Let's check out the European Championship then. Well, none of them won the European Championship either, but France got to 2 finals of that as well, losing to Italy and Spain. So Mbappe got to 4 finals with France, but lost all of them, which is disappointing. Norway, nowhere to be seen. Not too much of a surprise, though. Of course, France have got a much stronger team than Norway. Let's check out Erling Haaland then. Let's see what he did. Not too much, judging by his league record, to be honest. Not too much at all. With 20 natural fitness as well. There's no real complaints because he hasn't really declined too much at all. Look at his record for Norway, though. Oh, my word. 142 caps and 140 goals. That's a new record by quite a distance as well, I think it is. That's just madness, isn't it? Absolutely madness. At least he's done well for Norway, I guess. In the 11th season, he got 26 goals and 5 assists only. It's worth noting the fact that he hasn't started too many games, though. Of course, he's got a bit of a worse injury record than Mbappe. Only 26 goals in that season, though, in 44 games. That is very poor. Next season, only 29 goals, but again, only 38 games played. He got 34 goals and 56 there. Poor. And 23 goals only in 44 games. So Haaland has not been very impressive with Celtic, it has to be said. Not very impressive at all. Let's check out also the what's it called? Premier Sports Cup and the Scottish Cup as well. So of course Rangers won the league title 10 times out of 15. And and Celtic won it 5 times. In terms of the Scottish Cup, though, Celtic won it twice, 3. Celtic won it 5 times, and Rangers won it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So Celtic just bettered them in the Scottish Cup there. What about the Premier Sports Cup? Well, Celtic won it twice, 3, 4 times, and Rangers won it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So Rangers have certainly been the better team out of the 2 domestically, that is for sure. But we're not here for domestically, though. We're here for the European football. What have Rangers done in Europe, first of all? Let's check Rangers out in European competitions. Well, Rangers' best result so far in European football is the semi-final of the Europa Conference League once, where they lost to Aston Villa, and the quarter-final of the Europa League 4 times. Did they go any further than that? Well, in the next season, they got knocked out of the Europa League's second knockout to Dortmund. They lost 3-1 at home to Dortmund, and they beat them 3-1 away from home, so that's very bizarre. Roger Ibanez got sent off, which has something to do with it, I guess, but How strange, how strange. Lost on penalties as well, which is disappointing. The next season, knocked down the Champions League group stage with not a single win. That was with PSV and Atlanta in the group. That is pathetic. The next season, they got to the Europa League semi-final this time, so they went their furthest in the European football. Knocked down the Champions League group stage with Bodo Glimt and Hamburg in the group. That is pathetic. Maybe Hamburg a little bit of a force we reckon with these days, maybe, but Bodo Glimt, they beat them twice. They drew away to Man City as well, so unfortunately knocked out there. They got through the Europa League though, beat Betis in the first knockout round very comfortably, beat Rennes in the second knockout round. They then beat Everton in the quarter-final there on penalties. Then they lost to Man United in the semi-final though, so no surprise they got knocked out to Man United in the semi-final. Lost 3-0 away and lost 3-1 at home as well. So did get through to the semi-final of the Europa League though, but still, there's not too much to shout about because they got to the Europa League final in real life, so it can't be that good, can it, really? Let's be honest. Anyway, the next season, knocked down the Champions League group stage again, only beating Basel in the group. Then they got knocked out to the Europa League second knockout round to Borussia Dortmund again. 2-1 at home, 2-1 away from home. And in 2036, the final season, they got knocked out to AC Milan in the Europa League second knockout round, 6-1 on aggregate. So, disappointing. Very disappointing. Best they could do was Europa League semi-final, which of course is not even better than what they did in real life. So, Mbappe didn't take him too many places in European football, but they did consistently get to the later stages of the Europa League, which is something, I guess. Obviously, they dominated domestically as well. So Mbappe seems like more of a success than Haaland. But anyway, let's check out Celtic. Have they won any sort of European competition? Well, I've actually been really disappointed with Celtic in this experiment video, to be honest. They haven't done too well at all, have they really? Finishing 4th in the Scottish Premiership is just abysmal. When was the last time Celtic finished 4th? 50 years ago? So that is just pathetic. With Haaland up front, that's terrible. Also, Haaland's been disappointing as well. The whole club's been disappointing. Anyway, the next season after, the 11th season, they knocked down the Champions League group in a ridiculously easy group as well. Another dream group. Genk, Lyon and Hertha Berlin. Awful. Absolutely awful. So they're not doing too well in the European competitions, are they? The next season, again, they got knocked out in the group stage of the Champions League. This time with Lille, Hertha Berlin and Arsenal in the group. So another time they probably should have qualified, to be honest. Season after that, knocked out in the Champions League group again, finishing bottom again. This time with AGF in the group. What on earth is going on? Yes, they have PSG and Barcelona. They beat Barcelona 2-1 at home. But they couldn't beat AGF in any game. They've got to be finishing third at least in that group. They've got to be finishing, well, third, because obviously PSG and Barcelona finished top and second, so that is terrible. And the next season they got to the Europa League Conference League semi-final. We'll get to that in a second, but lots of European football in this season. They knocked down the Champions League path playoff to Marseille, which is disappointing, it has to be said. They got through they couldn't get through the Europa League group, actually. They got knocked down in the Europa League group, with a group of Bayer Leverkusen, Molde and Bilbao. To be fair, that's quite a difficult Europa League group, has to be said. That's probably more difficult one of their Champions League groups, to be honest. In the Europa Conference League, they got through Konyaspor in the first knockout round. They got through Real Sociedad in the second knockout round, which is a great scalp. They then got through Roma in the quarter-final, which again is a great scalp. Then they got knocked out to Wolfsberger. Well, they went down to 9 men in the first leg there. They still won the game 3-1, which is very, very bizarre. They're 3-0 up, went down to 9 men at half-time. They got a goal back. In the second leg, they lost 3-0 away, which is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. To get through Real Sociedad and Roma to then lose to Wolfsberger is horrendous. So both of them got to the Europa Conference League semi-final. And you probably think both of them should have won it, to be honest. But especially Celtic there. Wolfsberger, obviously Rangers and Aston Villa, which are a better team than Wolfsberger. So that is terrible. And in the final season, it's probably it is the most pathetic of the lot. They finished 4th in that season, of course. They had to qualify for the Europa Conference League, and they couldn't even do that. They could not even do that, losing out to Dunstredder. Absolutely terrible. Celtic have been really disappointed in this experiment video here. And Mbappe, of course, has been very, very successful. Dominated domestically. They won, 10 titles, I think it was, Rangers, and 8 Scottish Cups. So that is rather nice. Unfortunately, neither of them could win a continental competition. They came close, though. They both got to the Europa Conference League semi-final. They lost. But Rangers got to the Europa League semi-final as well. So not too much to shout about in European football. It could have been a whole lot different if they just got through one of those games, to be honest. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be. But all in all, it's been quite an interesting experiment in my view. Mbappe has certainly bettered Haaland by a mile in this experiment. He won the Player of the Season 14 times. Haaland only won it once, so that tells a story right there. And Rangers just seem to have done a lot better with Mbappe up front, or on the left wing, wherever they played him. So, very, very interesting. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the experiment video. Please remember, if you like the video, to hit that like button for me. And also, if you're interested in seeing daily FootballManager content, hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.